How bad is your situation you're going through right now? Maybe you're fighting a drug addiction. Maybe you're trying to fight a porn addiction. Maybe you're going through a divorce or a breakup. Maybe you have a child that's lost his way or her way. Whatever it is, there's hope. Check this out. So if we go back to the Old Testament story of Jonah, Jonah chapter 2, it talks about Jonah was swallowed by a big fish after he disobeyed God, right? Any Sunday school people out there know that story? Essentially, he disobeyed God. He was supposed to go to Nineveh, and he jumped on a ship. So then this big storm comes, and these guys figure out that it's actually Jonah's fault, that God's punishing them, so they throw him overboard. And then a big fish comes and swallows him, which sounds like it's the end of the story. But in God's amazing and fantastic way and humor, it was his way of saving Jonah. In chapter 2, though, we see Jonah, who's in the belly of the fish, and he starts worshiping God, which gives us a hint. Here's what he said. He said, "In my distress I called to the Lord, and he answered me. From deep in the realm of the dead I called for help, and you listened to my cry." He goes through here, and he talks about the waters that threatened him, and the deep surrounded him. Seaweed was wrapped around my head. Does not sound like a fun situation. But then here we go again. "But you, Lord, my God, brought my life up from the pit. When my life was ebbing away, I remembered you, Lord, and my prayer rose to you, to your holy temple." Guys, put your focus on God. Praise him in your storm. There's true, authentic power in your worship and your praise. Because if you're worshiping in your storm, there's a trust factor that you've just kind of started handing over to God. And the more you praise, the more you worship him, the bigger that trust is going to be. And that trust turns into faith. At the end of chapter 2, he says, "But I with shouts of grateful praise will sacrifice to you. What I vowed I will make good. I will say salvation comes from the Lord." Here we go. Verse 10. "And the Lord commanded the fish, and it vomited Jonah onto dry ground." He wasn't fish food after all. God had a plan. God had a purpose for his life. And this wasn't the end. This was just a test. So I want to encourage you in this season, whatever it is, put your faith and trust in Jesus Christ, because he is the rock. He's your fortress, he's your foundation, and he's the only one who can get you through this. If you like what you see, follow for more. God bless.